Hey everybody, I hope you guys are all having a good week. Welcome to my Gold Rush blog slash video. I actually really had fun researching and making this PowerPoint presentation, so I hope that you guys will like it as much as I do and benefit from the video as much as I will from your guys's. So yeah, well, let's get started then. Okay, so for our assignment, our first question was, are there any history lessons in the Gold Rush story for current California residents? My answer would be, of course, yes, there's a lot of them because a lot of lessons because the Gold Rush provides the background of the event becoming uh, a rapid, monstrous maturity where the non-American population was approaching about 100,000 uh, people, and it the gold rush expresses the buildup to California organizing itself as a state. And in addition, in the in David or Kevin Starr's book, he quotes that the gold rush offered a case study in American character and hence was important to the understanding of the nation. So basically, he was saying that the gold rush itself not only was a big impact on California itself, but it showed um, importance of people coming to California and becoming Californians and making what today California would be. But however, also there is a lesson in the gold rush providing current Cali residents the alarming effects of environmental damage to the state's natural environment and resources. Another a quote from or there was a section from one of the articles in Merchant's book, and it said that placer operations and lode mining had a tremendous impact on vegetation. Besides lumber for mine props, railway ties, mine buildings, and the like, lode mining consumed quantities of timber to fuel mining machinery, stamp mills, and smelters. Traditional mining methods introduced relatively small amounts of debris into the streams, leaving the bed of the creek, which had once flowed past the town of Nevada City, was now 1851 choked up with the heaps of trailings. So honestly, in my opinion, I feel like the gold rush itself provides where we came from, where our ancestors came from in California, and I also think it also provides current California residents the history of why our land is the way it is today, from miners using the trees by cutting them down and uh, ruining, well, not exactly ruining entirely, but contaminating the rivers with debris. And so basically, I think that, yes, there's a lot of history lessons that could be told from the gold rush itself. Okay, so the second question in our assignment was, do we believe the damage of California's environment was intentional, or was it a product of the times in which they live? Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like it was a little bit of both because, for one, the people from the east coast of America, as well as the people who came from Europe and so on, when they came to California, they only came to have a new life, and therefore, when the miners came there to have gold and to make homes and use the resources around them. They were doing it for survival. However, in another scenario in history, which I found an article on Norwich University's website. Um, there was a quote that actually was really interesting because it provided more insight to another perspective of the gold rush. So the quote says, "The influx of gold resulted in the expansion of manufacturing and the service industries, as many entrepreneurial newcomers took advantage of the demand for mining materials, lumber, clothing, and transportation. Agriculture and retail also experienced exponential growth during the gold rush, and led to California becoming an economic powerhouse by the end of the century. Some of today's most recognizable brands, businesses, and icons got their start during the gold rush. Henry Wells and William Fargo saw an opportunity to provide financial services to gold seekers and started a bank, which was Wells Fargo and Co. Levi Strauss, a German immigrant, identified miners' need for sturdy clothing and created canvas pants that would withstand the punishing hours involved in gold mining. End quote. So basically, what the article was saying is that while these miners are using materials around them to help their survival, bit other people who were business owners or about to be business owners saw opportunity to benefit themselves by providing services for miners by making banks, by making clothing stores, bakeries, and so forth. Basically, they intentionally uh, took advantage of the miners by making businesses that would not only benefit them but benefit themselves financially. So, in regard to the question again, I think that honestly it was both because, uh, like I said, the miners they did it for survival, for the product of the times in which they lived. Meanwhile, the business business owners and people seeking investments and uh, making business plans, they saw opportunity in providing things for the miners as well as taking advantage of the situation itself. Okay, so the last question was, what might a Christian response to environmental responsibility entail in today's world? So honestly, this question was a little hard for me to understand at first, but when I was looking through the Bible, I found numerous and numerous of verses that talk about the many of the Lord's many words of protecting the environment and the importance of the creation of nature. Like for example, as you can see, I used of the two verses from the Bible. I used Deuteronomy 20:19, which pretty much says that you shouldn't destroy the trees for yourself. You can eat from them, basically like fruit, but you shouldn't cut them down because if you cut the tree, why should you kill it? And pretty much, why should you kill something to benefit yourself? Meanwhile, Psalm 24, 1 through 2, the Lord says that the earth is His, everything, all it contains inside the world and those who dwell in it. Because He created the seas and He created all the rivers and the trees and nature. So basically, in regard to the question, if a Christian was looking back on the gold rush in a Christian perspective, um, they might be really saddened and very like confused as to why these miners destroyed many trees and ruined the rivers that the Lord created. Other I found other uh books of the Bible that I thought were also good, but I didn't put them in because it would be too many. I know Haggai 2:8 said, The silver is mine and the gold is mine, declares the Lord of hosts. So, in a way, also looking back in a Christian perspective, the gold and the silver is for the Lord, it's for the nature. So, um, for miners to take that gold and silver and any minerals is taking from the Lord itself, but um, in its entirety, based on the biblical books and verses, a Christian perspective on environmental responsibilities would be that of feeling emotions of sorrow for what the miners did, as well as wanting to be protective of nature presently. And I feel like they would also learn from what the miners have done. And I think, honestly, I think that, like, as much as damage was done back then, there's still so much nature now that I'm glad that there's a lot of protective services for national parks and so on. So honestly, I think all the national parks are beautiful. They're God's creation. Um, I'm glad there's still preserved nature out there. So as a Christian, I would say I'm sad by what the gold rush caused for nature and everything, but I feel like from them we can learn how to preserve our nature a lot better. Alright, so that's the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed the different information that I provided. I hope that you guys benefit from it, and I'm really excited to see your guys' videos, and I hope that we can learn from each other, and I can't wait to see you guys' comments and feedback. Also, here are my references for the quotes that I talked about today, and yeah, so I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I can't wait to see all your guys' videos, so I'll see you next time. Okay, bye!